So in this video I'm going to go through the development question on page 182. It's the dustpan one here. So it tells us, given the dimensions of a dustpan made from folded sheet metal, 1. Draw the elevation and plan view of the object, and 2. Draw the surface development of the flattened object. So to start off, I'm going to draw my elevation and plan. I'm going to keep that to the left hand side of the page, to the space to the right for my development. So the elevation is a total of 30 mil tall. So what I'll do is, let's zoom out a bit here so you can see the full sheet. I'm going to go down about 50 mil to give me a bit of space above. And I'm going to measure in about 20 mil to keep it in from the left hand side of the page. So as always, when we're drawing our elevation plan, I'm going to draw boxes to 50 mil side. So the width is 80 mil, the dustpan, as we said already. The height is 30 mil. So that box there is going to fit my elevation. Put that in there. And then I'm going to give a bit of space underneath within my plan, which has a depth of 20 mil. Just send that down to meet it. So there are my two boxes to fit my view inside. So for the elevation, I have a line going all the way across the base, and then we go up 20 mil and across 20 mil from the top right. Connect those together to give that sloping line there at the back, and then that top point connects to the bottom left corner there to give us our output there. The plan then, directly underneath it, we'll take our lines down. Over the plan we have the full outline in heavy there, and then we have this top line on the dustpan heavy across there. That's our plan. Now for development, what we want to do is to see, zoom in there, how many sides we have. So we have our base is going to be 1. We have our two sides, which are going to be 2 and 3. The back is going to be 4, and that top part is going to be 5. So we know it's going to be split into 5 parts. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go over from my plan. I'm going to take a line across. I'll have plenty of space then for this, and I'll measure about 50 mil away. What I'm going to do first of all is draw my base, my side number 1. All of our points, all of our distances we're going to get from our plan and elevation. So remember, we need to deal with true lengths. To get a true shape, we need to have true lengths. So there again. So all I did there was went across about 50 mil. And that's going to be my top point here when I draw my base. So for the base of it, it's 80 mil long. I can take that distance on my compass, save me having to measure it, mark that distance there, and it's 70 mil wide. I'm going to draw everything lightly first, and then afterwards I'll go over heavy and draw my fold lines. So that's part 1 that I would labelled in the book. So 2 and 3 are the two sides. We get those views from our elevations. We're basically going to draw this side up here and draw a mirror image of it underneath there. So for the height, we take a straight line up. We can take that height there, mark it off, do the same with the opposite side. It's going to be the exact same. And then what I can do is, I can take this length here, swing an arc from there, swing an arc from there, so somewhere along that line is where it's going to stop. And then I can take my length here, so we're taking true lengths at all times, and I swing it from here, and I swing it from there. Where they both cross over each other is where they join together. What I now have is the true shape of that side there, which is side 2, and the true shape of that side there, which is side 3. My last two sides are going to be the back and the top. So we can see with the back, it's the same height as the side there, and it's going to be attached out here. So what I can do is, I can take that distance on my compass, same one again, I'm going to swing it down until it hits my line going across there, and take that across. And to prove on the other side, you can do the exact same thing. Take that distance there, swing it down, and they meet up there. The last part then is the back, the top. So that's side 4, and that is going to be this length here. That's the length of the top. It's going to be this section here. I can add that on there, and there. And now I have side 5. So that's what our object looks like when we fold it out flat. So now what I'm going to do is go over my outline heavy. I'm going to draw my fold lines, and I'm going to talk about one little part to make sure, just like we covered in class, about why we took this length here for the top as opposed to just measuring it from our plan. So that's our outline, and to show that it folds up, we draw in our dashed lines to represent our fold lines where the object is going to be bent and fold it up into shape. I can draw the arrowheads here to show that those distances I took, they're the exact same. Now, one thing we looked at in class was why we took this length here as a true length, as opposed to measuring the distance from there to there. And the same with why we took this as our true length for our side, as opposed to taking the distance from there to there. So when we looked at it in class, we were looking at our pencil. So for example, if we take our pencil here, that's the length of it from there to there. But what happens is, when we start to lift up one end of our pencil, like this here, the pencil starts to appear as if it's shorter, when in reality we know that's our true length. So if I was to line it up exactly at that point there, and I was to put a little mark at the end there, that's our length. And just like in the elevation, it's being lifted up, that is going up at an angle. So if I start to pivot that at that point, up into the air, you can see, if I line it up there with the end of 5, it appears that the pencil is only that length there now. So if we were to look at it directly in front, so if you were to imagine look down on that there, you can see it as that length, but if you were to look in this way, you would see the true length of it there. So that's why for both these lines here, we take those lengths as opposed to measuring what we see in our plan. So hopefully that video helps anyone who may have been stuck on that.